Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode number 20.
20? Where did time go?
I don't know. We made it to 20, Sean.
What happened? I didn't know we were at 20. Where was I?
Through getting COVID. What else happened? Multiple vacations.
That's the beach time. I'm still on beach time.
You're still on beach time.
I'm still on beach time.
Yeah, well, and then we had the first podcast without one of us.
That is right.
Which we're going to get into a little bit later.
Is it really true? Because you kind of got this another half of me, basically.
I mean, just because he's your blood doesn't mean I got half of you. I didn't cut you in half or anything, buddy.
He is legit blood. He is my brother, so kind of similar.
What's our unofficial sponsor, Sean?
It is, and I was reading this because this was my beach whiskey. This is 1884. They call it Uncle Nearest, but really they know it as 1884. But what I read is it was the number one whiskey in 2019 and 2020.
And you drank a decent amount of that while you were on vacation.
We just did two
like
shots,
an 8,
so
maybe?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I had other whiskeys and things to drink, so couldn't just go through it.
We're probably crushing people's ears. So we'll talk about our new setup, but we just dragged a bottle across the table. I don't know how that's going to sound. All right, cheers, buddy. 1884.
Hold on.
I don't think that made any real noise.
It may.
Ooh, that's got a little bit of a kick to it, my friend.
All right, so that being said, Ian brought up our new equipment, our mic already.
Yes, we got to, we're at episode number 20, and because of our wonderful co-star Sean here blasting us out on social media, we now have 20 subscribers.
We're up to 20. Jeez.
So we always said from day one, if we started seeing some activity, we would start investing. We'd upgrade a little bit. We start investing into the show a little bit. So right now we have a new microphone, which we did not purchase. The company purchased it for other reasons, but
thanks, company.
We're going to use it for this show, and we're recording on my Galaxy S20.
All right.
And so it should be better than a webcam, I would assume.
I would hope. They say, what, they have 20 megapixels now or something like that?
Something like that.
I would hope.
Yeah, so I mean...
But do they record in 4K?
I don't know. It's got to be better than a webcam.
I would guess it's 4K. I know Apple does 4K now, so I would guess it's 4K.
I would assume so. So we have upgraded the setup. You'll probably hear that we're a little louder than we used to be, and maybe a little more clear, hopefully, with that.
That could be why I'm messing with you guys a little bit.
So, and Sean's really trying to hurt your ears with the scraping the bottle across the table and knocking on
what
stuff.
other noises can I use this for? Nah, that's not as good.
Not as good?
That's not as good. Need glass.
So my question to you is, what are we going to do if we get to 50 subscribers?
Jeez. Dress and drag and do the hula?
Dress in drag and do the hula. That was not anything close to what I was expecting for that dress. I don't know if I can dress and drag, Sean. It might be a little above my capabilities. If you want to dress and drag, and I will do a hula. Maybe that'll be the combination that we do.
Not gonna lie. First thing that came to my mind when you said that was the Disney movie Lion King and dress and drag and do the hula.
How about this? If we get to 50 subscribers by, the end of the year? We'll put it at that?
Yeah, that's a good time frame.
Then you and I split a nice camera.
How about you guys? Let us know.
Let us know what you want to see.
Actually, if you follow us on the Instagram account at @2_dadsdrink, and I will post a poll there, and you guys can let us know what you think.
Yeah, maybe you just want us to get props. Maybe you want us to
get a flashier background.
Yeah, we'll get a pull-up background, 2 dads drink. Who knows? Whatever you guys want, we will invest in if we get to 50, and we'll keep rewarding you as we grow in subscribers. And that's solely off of YouTube subscribing. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you are listening on the podcast side,
Apple, Google, Spotify.
Yeah, all that.
All the good
Anchor,
ones. All the good ones. Thanks, Anchor, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Anchor, for sponsoring our show all the time.
They're up to $1.54 now. Thanks, guys.
$1.54.
So, somewhere in that
that doesn't even pay for us to get more plastic shot glasses.
That doesn't even pay for this tin cup.
Let's put it this way. We'll also do some sort of reward for our listeners if we can get to the point where we actually make I don't know. I think you have to make $10 to cash out on Anchor. So if we can make $10 off our sponsorship, then we will reward the listeners some way as well. How's that sound?
That's great. I'm thinking about a giveaway.
Ooh, a giveaway.
We'll see. You guys got to get us there first.
Yeah, we're nowhere close to that. We're at like 1% or 10% of that. So we need to improve on that.
You will notice though, because it's big and it's blue. When you start watching the show again, this new mic in front of us that makes the whiskey bottle look real small anymore.
Yeah, it is a big microphone. It's a Yeti Blue, and it's one of the best USB microphones you can buy. So that's cool. We're upgrading. We're getting better.
Also, I'm going to take the chance to remind everybody to look at the crown around the microphone because we do have
in the picture.
Oh man!
So do you want me to wear it for the rest of the show?
I was going to say, if not, this goes over to this guy over here.
I'll cover up my Washington Wild Things hat, and we'll rock the birthday crown.
See, he said he couldn't dress in drag and do the hula.
It's a pink crown.
Do you got a hula now in you?
That's not drag. Drag would be like lipstick, makeup, and maybe a dress or something.
Nonetheless, this guy over here just turned 34, so happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. It's actually literally today.
Should we be doing another shot when we say happy birthday?
I guess. You want to do another shot?
All
we'll do
right.
another shot.
Eric, where are you?
Where are you, Eric? You're supposed to be making us drink right now.
When we do more than 2 shots, you should be here.
I am 34 today, and that's my commitment to the show, is that I am here on my birthday.
I see that.
Yeah, which you slacked off and extended your vacation so that we couldn't do it yesterday. So
sorry.
I'm the one sacrificing here. Just want that to be on the record.
Hey, we could have done it differently. I think you actually said doing it on your birthday, which I just thought would be fun.
Yeah. Hey, birthday shot.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Oof. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should have chose a different whiskey for shooting.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I don't know my opinion, but I'm not sure if that's number 1 in my books or in my heart.
No, neither. So thank you for getting us to 20 subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the new improved content.
Layouts. All right, so that being said, we brought up your 34th birthday.
Yes.
What are your goals for 34? You're a goal getter.
I am a goal getter. I have I don't really have goals for 34. I have goals for 2021. Mm-hmm. But I have said, because of you were my inspiration. I even put it on Facebook.
I appreciate that.
You were kind of my inspiration to get my content back up and rolling. I was just doing my podcast before, which was the Realtor Nation podcast. And I've decided to rebrand and just call it the E&S Hoover Show, where I'm going to do a little bit of everything within the business realm.
By the way, we don't really talk about this, and it's intentional that we don't talk about it, but just so everybody knows, we are both businessmen. We are both in the real estate world, just so people know a little bit of that background when we talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it purely because we don't talk about other stuff. We talk about that all day long.
Yeah, this is supposed to be our fun podcast,
right.
Our fun YouTube show. So,
but wanted to fill them in on that part, so they don't just, what does that mean? What does this mean? An E.S. Hoover show? What's it about?
Well, it's just a general business show. There will be some real estate. There will be some investing stuff. There will be some motivational stuff. There will be great interviews. Like I just had an interview with auto kingpin Jim Shorkey.
Did you ask him if he had a deal for me on a Ram truck?
I did not, but they do have a Ram dealership. He's retired from the business, though, so
okay.
I'm sure I could get him.
Well, remember, he was friend requesting me, too. I just haven't really...
I'm sure I could hit him up and see if I can get you into the friends and family discount or something.
Okay.
But he was a really great interview, and I learned a lot from him. So it's going to be just completely random, all within the business realm. And then you have your new show coming up.
Yeah, mine's going to be called... It's going to be in the real estate world, but really business world as well. But it's going to be called Real Talk. It's going to be a 1 or twice a week show where literally I'm going to sit down with guys like you and have real conversations, sort of like we do on this show, where we just kind of talk and BS, only about more of a business atmosphere, more of a real estate. Like I may sit down with you, I may sit down with some of my lenders, I may sit down with some of my random business owners that I know in my area and just talk about and just sit down and have a drink or whatever and just BS about whatever is going on in that world.
I like it. I can't wait for the content, and we can hold each other accountable for continuing to pump out content.
I will definitely do that.
When's your first show launching?
Well, I am recording on August 1st, so August 3rd probably.
Okay, and what, you're going to shoot for like one show a week, or?
Yep, I'm shooting for one show a week, and then eventually I want to extend to have 2 shows a week where I start to involve more of me having a conversation. Not just me and a guest, but me having a conversation about something going on.
Very cool. My goal is just to get one thing a week out. If I get more than that out, great. But because we also are doing this once a week too.
I'll be honest with you. I'll say this to all you guys. Since we started this 20 episodes ago, about 7 months at this point, 8 months at this point, because we skipped a few weeks. But since we started doing the show, I've gotten more and more interested in social media, doing the YouTube shows, and kind of that whole presence almost. So that one show is going to equate to me possibly wanting to coach other people to do it, create other shows down the line. Like, I know me and you are eventually going to get into football down the line here, but we do enjoy just BSing about anything.
Yeah.
So what's to say we don't extend to 2 shows if we have time, if we can make it work, where we do a football show because we just enjoy football, and we do a regular BS show where we just BS.
Yeah, it could be.
It's just enjoyable. That's all it is. Time's the ultimate issue, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're both also raising families.
Correct.
And running businesses, and
Correct.
So our commitment is what it is, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content we're putting out there. But please go check out my podcast on podcast platforms, and then my YouTube.
Ian_S_Hoover.
Yeah, or just search ENS Hoover, you'll find
Ian S.
it.
Hoover.
And then yours is going to be Real Talk.
Mine, you can find it. It's already up there as Real Talk. You can find it. There's just
really?
no episodes up yet.
Well, I'm going to be your first subscriber.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, I'll go look it up tonight. With that being said,
Sure.
we had an episode without you last week.
Yes,
First
you
one
did.
without one of us.
I was the first one to watch it. I can't promise that. That's not true. That's a lie.
Yeah, I was probably the first one to watch it as I was editing and throwing it up.
Possibly, yeah.
More than likely.
But you don't count. You were actually in the show.
I was in the show, but
And
I
editing doesn't count.
I do go back and like re-listen and re-watch just to see how I can improve, like my speech and how, maybe what we could do to improve the show, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What did you think about our first Zoom episode?
Well, here's the deal, and I'll inform everybody. The episode that they just did was my own creation. I'm the one who came up with the great debate, because I'll be honest with you, as much as me and you go back and forth, you and my brother may go more than me and you, which is crazy to think.
We didn't do much, though.
No, you didn't, but the thought process behind it was because of that.
I don't know if we just weren't in the mood or what the deal was, but
It was not the same when you're right next to each other as you are over
true.
Zoom, which was another weird question of being over Zoom. And I want you guys to let us know when you listen to this show, what did you think? 2 different rooms for Zoom, or in the same room together having a conversation?
Well, I would assume if we end up doing a second fun show at some point, it will probably be over Zoom.
Yes.
For sheer time frame.
I was going to say, but that's a different story. If we do a second fun show or something like that, like me and you, we go to Dough Bar like we've talked about in earlier episodes. Which, Donnie, we need to do that. Let's figure out a time.
Absolutely.
We could literally do a review of your shop. We could walk around. He's shown restaurant before. And we have the camera now. Actually, that's another equipment that I bought, was a walking camera.
Yeah.
So we actually have the video footage to be able to do this. So on the show, I created the ideas because I thought they would set them off. To be honest with you, I thought it would create a bigger conversation than it actually did at the end of the day.
It was still an hour and what, 2 minutes or something?
Yeah, but honestly, the first one I thought would create a conversation was the NBA one. Which is, I look at this, it's really not as crazy of a difference. But it does show some of the age. Like, he has Duncan in there.
Well, Duncan was in my top 10.
He was in your top 10, but not your top 5.
Right.
Nonetheless, he's in his top 5. So the viewpoint of Duncan is stronger for him than a guy like Wilt Chamberlain, who is not in his top 5.
And if I remember correctly, he did not have Kobe in his top 5.
He didn't. That's actually crazy, to be honest with you, not to have Kobe in there.
I was pretty shocked. I would have thought for sure it was going to be LeBron, Kobe, Michael, or LeBron, Michael, Kobe, and he shocked me by having Michael first.
Mm-hmm.
Because and he says that now he he knows better. But like him
The
and I
Last
have
Dance.
had.
Let's be honest. People have watched The Last Dance at this point.
So you think that impacted him? Because I know I've had debates with him prior where he said LeBron was better.
Yeah, and the only thing LeBron's better at is he is a bigger physical player than MJ ever could be.
Oh yeah, I mean I said it right on the show that I thought he was a physical specimen.
Yeah, and he may be the greatest physical specimen. Shaq is up there.
I don't think so. I think Shaq was just big and tall, and he was
but
strong.
he moved early in his early years. He moved too.
He was still kind of slow.
Kind of, but do you
For
remember
his
him?
size,
He was not as fat. He was not like.
Oh yeah, he was real lean.
He was move. He would
days,
move.
Yeah, in his early Orlando days and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what I mean. Your Orlando days before the LA days. The LA days is when you got Shaq under the hole and you weren't stopping him. You just got to turn around and dunk in your head.
Or you hack a Shaq.
And he couldn't. He tried to do that because he couldn't make a free throw.
Right.
Nonetheless, him not having Kobe just kind of upsets me. But you know my opinion of Kobe. Kobe to me is the second to MJ. To be honest with you,
you can tell by watching Kobe play that he literally molded his game after Michael Jordan.
And he was very close.
Oh, very close.
Very close. And his era was a little different, so I don't know how I judged the two of them because his era was different than what MJ's era was. But nonetheless, I was shocked by and I'll say this in the rappers when we get to the rappers as well. But I was shocked by Magic is probably him and MJ are the old style, but MJ everybody knows of. Right. Magic everybody knows of. Duncan, that's a newer generation player. I hate to say it that way, but he really is. He came in right after MJ, or right at the end of MJ.
And Duncan's not sexy. He's
not
fun to watch.
He's just good. He's just damn good.
He's just a hell of a basketball
player. He won all the time. Even after David Robinson retired, he still won.
Consistently. And he beat people like LeBron. He beat people like... he
was just good. He was fundamentally good.
He beat Dirk and those good Mavs teams.
I like that you have Wilt on your list at number 2 because he's not somebody I always think about, but he really is a top player.
The only player ever to score 100 points.
Yep. And I like that you put Larry in there. I don't know if I'd have Larry in the top 5, but he was damn good at everything. Once again, but how do you say against anybody that would pretty much be in your top 10 that they're not damn good at what they do?
Yeah.
Any of them. That's the catch. You may not like them for whatever reason or agree or whatever, but anybody who's in that top 5 or in that top 10 list, they were damn good at what they did.
I think the most surprising things of the list, my opinion is that me leaving LeBron off, which I honestly...
Yeah, but you said he would be 6 or 7.
Yeah, I honestly think that I probably, if I was truly like gun to my head, pick the top 5 players to win with, you know, I probably would take LeBron over some of the people in my top 5 because he's just a physical specimen.
Yeah. Can you imagine him and MJ on the court at the same time?
Oh, right. Who gets the ball, you know?
Right.
Like, obviously, with the game-winning shot, I want MJ to have the ball. But
MJ at shooting guard and then LeBron inside at forward, one of the forward positions.
Well, and then on defense, LeBron can switch over and guard anybody.
Correct.
So I think that was... Honestly, I think my biggest thing was I was trying to provoke him a little bit, and it didn't work. He wasn't surprised at all that I left LeBron off the list.
No, he actually said it when you brought it up. He said it,
and then him leaving Kobe off the list kind of surprised me.
It really surprised me because he's a Kobe fan. He likes Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to like, right?
Yeah, and this coming from a Kobe fan. Kobe has some shithead moments. Think about that.
No, I'm not saying he was a great human being all the time, but I'm saying as a basketball player, he was fun to watch.
Oh, he's incredible to watch. I remember me and you going to a sports bar one night, and Kobe made that deep 3, and you were like, fuck, of course he did.
Yeah, of course. The fadeaway deep 3 with like no time left. I had a lot of players that like I was really having trouble. Steve Nash was really fun to watch.
But do you really think he's a top 10, even top 10? Do you really think he's
He probably would not make my top 10, but he definitely popped into my head when I was making the list.
Because honest opinion, if you want me to give you a short white guy to put in the top 10, I'd put probably John Stockton before I put it.
About Jason Kidd?
He wasn't white.
Jason Kidd is white, dude.
He's kind of middle.
No, he's white. Both his parents are white. Jason Kidd is a white dude.
Oh, man.
Anyways,
go, guys.
while you're looking it up, I had a lot of people pop into my head. It wasn't easy to make a top 5. Dude, he's white.
Which one am I getting?
He's like my complexion, bro. Like,
okay, we'll go with it.
I mean,
why is he fat?
Well, now he's a coach, so he's
is that why he's fat?
Yeah, he's a little chubbier these days. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great players that popped into my head. I mean, Dirk was one that, he was a lot of fun to watch, and he's had some epic moments where he's beaten LeBron James in the finals, and there was some good Pistons teams that some people were rolling through my head. But overall, I really like where both of our lists come from. Is there anybody that would be in your top 5 that was not in our top 5?
Well, you already said he said Kobe. Oh, man. No, really, there's not.
No.
There's really not.
Okay.
Between the two of your lists, there's nobody additional that I would add to a top 5 in that list.
Yeah.
Because realistically, my top 3 would be MJ and Kobe off the bat. I do think LeBron's a top 5 overall player. I think he's closer to 5, though.
I understand that he. By the way, Sean is a little under the weather today, coming back from vacation. So if he has the sniffles and the coughs from time to time, bear with him.
Sorry if you hear all that, guys. By the way,
I just had trouble. Like, would I pick him over Wilt Chamberlain? No.
And that's the only way you can measure it for yourself.
Like, and Jake's case for that was, Wilt played against lower competition. Well, Michael did too. Every generation gets tougher, right? So,
but that's what I said. That's why I brought that up with LeBron and things like that. Is you look at who they're playing against.
And more than likely, if LeBron had been born 20 years earlier, he probably would not be 6'8" and 300 pounds of salt and muscle, right? Like he could, because the generational genetics has gotten better and better and better. So it's kind of hard to go either way on that. You just have to compare how great they were for their time.
Yeah, and there's another guy in terms of talent. If I'm looking at LeBron, that I would put up there, but I don't want to necessarily count him in the top 5. But it's Durant.
Yeah,
he just hasn't won enough. That's my issue with him. Is he hasn't won enough.
Yeah,
I think talent-wise, he's up there. I think win, which is what I count in the top 5, is how much you win and championships and things like that.
It's hard to believe that Oklahoma City had Durant, Westbrook, and Harden on the same team.
And they didn't.
And they didn't put that together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they didn't win a championship.
They drafted all 3 of them.
Yeah.
That actually speaks volumes to me about a good GM and coach. They actually drafted all 3 of them. They just couldn't keep them together. But then you got Golden State with Steph Curry.
Yeah, but even Steph Curry, like, they brought people in around him, to win championships.
That's because he was a shooter. He can lead you, but he was a shooter. He couldn't really drive to the hole or anything.
What about our rap list? What would you think about our rap list? That we had some people on social media saying how could we leave Dr. Dre off? Both of us left Dr. Dre off. My theory with Dr. Dre is he's more of a producer than a rapper.
Okay, so yours I'm fine with. If you want my honest opinion, I'm fine with. But you have to remember, I'm of the same age as you. So yours I'm fine with. I don't know if I necessarily have M number 1, but he's definitely in the top 3. Even though M's my favorite. I'm just being honest here.
I got smack about Ice Cube more than anybody on my list.
Really, on his, I know Kanye's done some good things, but I don't know how he's number 1, first of all. Kendrick's another one I don't see in a top 3. Nas, maybe. Just depends on how you want to view Nas. But
if we fast forward 20 years, could Kanye or Kendrick be in the top 3?
Correct, and that's more of what I can see.
I could see Kendrick for sure being in there.
This one, to me, when I was listening to this really showed the age difference in that whole generational gap thing. That's what that showed.
Yeah, I wanted to get somebody, even though I wasn't quite in that era, right? I was born in 87. I didn't start listening to rap until the late 90s. I wanted to give somebody from the fathers of hip-hop on my list, right? And out of all the fathers, like Run DMC and NWA and all those groups, my favorite was always Cube. Yeah. And he also made to me, what is the most iconic rap song of all time.
Yeah, I heard it.
So I think that's why I put Cube on there. I love his flow. I think he's just very unique with how he lays down his raps. So I was pretty happy with my choice of Ice. Maybe I should have put Tupac number 2, Ice number 3.
There's details there. Yeah, I mean, and once again, I know we saw some YouTube comments about Dr. Dre not being on the list. I saw them. Yeah, Dr. Dre, to me, deserves to be up there. If you're going to ask me the same question as this, he's probably one of those people I'd probably have into that list.
I don't know if Dr. Dre makes my top 10.
Maybe Biggie.
Yeah, I don't know if Dr. Dre makes my top 10.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think of all the great rappers out there, and it's like, and look, I love Dre and I love his music, but
so, question on that: if he's not in your top 10, is Snoop Dogg in your top 10?
I would probably put Snoop higher than Dre, but I don't think either one of them would be in my top 10.
Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls would probably be in my top 10. I feel like he was a great lyricist, and he just knew how to make hits.
Mm-hmm.
You know
who I liked for the same reason, and then he retired randomly? Mace.
Mace. Well, he did come back for a little bit.
He did for a little bit, but it wasn't the same.
No,
it wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same.
Plus, he was all Christian. He got his ministry, and if you ever saw his new videos once he came back after that, he really portrayed that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick 3. It really was. I mean,
Yeah.
Easy was one of my favorites out of the NWA cliques. Ice-T was great. There were so many people who transformed the rap industry that I could have put
Beastie Boys.
in there. I never really put Beastie Boys in the rap category.
Really? What do you put them in?
They rap, but I don't know. I feel like they're more like punk.
Were they punk before punk was a thing?
Yeah, I think they were more punk. They were I think a lot of punk is rapping too.
Yeah.
So and maybe it's just because they were before their time and they were white boys and all that. But
right.
I never really think of them as a rap group. But yeah, I took a long time, way longer than on NBA on my top 3. And don't get me wrong, I do think that I'm biased with Eminem being number 1, no doubt about it.
Once again, coming from somebody who that is probably my favorite of the bunch, I still think it's a little biased to have him number 1. I don't think he is necessarily. I think he's in the top 5. I don't think he's number 1. I think he's in the top 3. For me, he would be in the top 3. But once again, this is all hypothetical. This is our own opinions.
Honestly, the one that I had I wanted to actually put him into the top 3. I just had I just am not a huge fan, but I admire what he's able to do. Is Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean, the guy literally just hit after hit after hit. He can go in and record, just similar to Tupac, he can go in and record an album in a day. Okay,
from a different perspective, and this kind of comes from the same one as like a Dr. Dre perspective. What about Jermaine Dupri, who is a producer of hit rap albums all the time for tons of different people, including Jay-Z?
Him and Dre just have such a bad beef and stuff, and I'm such a West Coast Dre fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just have trouble putting him in. I don't know.
He's just somebody.
And really, who's the biggest rapper he put out there? Like Lil Bow Wow?
Oh no, he did Jay-Z, a few of Jay-Z's albums.
What, early on?
Yeah.
I will say,
Hard Knock Life was him.
I recently went back and listened to some really old Jay-Z, and I forgot how much I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, there's some old ones that are really good.
Big Pimpin', those are some really.
What's
good
the one?
songs.
Oh, what's the one he's racing a car? Oh shit. Jermaine Dupri is actually in it, singing with him in that one. Yeah, it's both of them.
There's one that he did with Pharrell in the early 2000s that I really like. I actually really like a lot of Jay-Z songs, but I don't know. There's something about it. I just couldn't put him in my top 3.
I get it.
Is there somebody that you would have 100% had in your top 3 that we did not talk about?
No, just the names I brought up. They may have slipped in just depending on what mood I was in when I was doing it. Like Jay-Z may have slipped in when I was, depending on the mood I'm in.
You and I might have to do a rock list at some point.
Oh, here we go.
Like an alternative rock type of list.
Right.
Because we're both into alternative rock as well. We'd have to classify alternative rock. It can't be any growling type music.
So what would you consider Disturbed?
Alternative.
Okay.
They do a little growling.
Metallica is more metal.
Yeah, I think heavy metal. Metallica, especially the early stuff, was super heavy.
Yeah. So that's why I was asking that. Like they're like Disturbed, System of a Down, bands like that. I kind of consider in the rock kind of stage.
Yeah, I do. Alternative rock.
I do actually want to call time out because I want to shoot out a sympathy. We do our rest in peace and things like that all the time. The drummer from Slipknot, the crazy drummer who would go upside down and play the drums, passed away today.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yes, he passed away today. He was a hell of a drummer. Peace be with you.
Rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. That sucks because they're one of the people on my bucket list that I would love to see live.
He was I'll be honest with you, I saw him 3 times. They're all great. The band in general, because there's 9 of them in Slipknot.
Right, there's a lot of them.
But him in general, he made every concert feel special because one concert I feel like they had him on a Ferris wheel going upside down and he was still playing the drums as he's going in circles. The other concert, and Sam went to this one with me, they literally just had him flipped upside down for most of the concert. He's upside down just playing the drums, upside down completely. He was ridiculous.
I wish I could have seen that. So rest in peace, and it sucks to lose somebody good like that. What do you wish we would have done better with the Jake show? Be a critic here.
I was actually pretty happy with it. I wish there was more fighting than there was.
You wish we would have went in person.
I do. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I'm definitely on board with how me and you are here face to face all the time. More of that than I am seeing somebody in one area here or one area here. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Like we go on vacations. If say I wanted to do this, I would have been in Myrtle Beach with an ocean behind me, and you would have been here.
Yeah.
With some sort of walls.
Don't get me wrong, I do. I really kind of wish, looking back at it, that I would have just found a little corner in my resort and done the show while I was gone.
It would have been fun.
It would have been fun.
And you could look back on it and saw your little resort.
Yeah, I'm really going to try hard to do that next time. Maybe it might be a little bit later. Like maybe instead of 9, we'll shoot at like 10 or something just so I can ensure my kids are asleep or whatnot.
Yeah, that works.
And I can almost guarantee I'll be intoxicated for that show.
And now you guys just said what you wanted to see.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we should really try harder. I know it sucks because it's not like we're on vacation, but it's also like this is our fun show too, so it should be part of vacation, right?
It is fun.
So I
feel sick as can be right now, and I'm still here.
I'm going to make the commitment that, and I'm pretty sure the schedule will line up perfectly for it. When I'm out of town in early September.
That's right. You're going to Disney, right?
Well, we're doing a Florida trip where we're going to get We're going to do the Disney Halloween thing on Tuesday night. I think we're doing Universal on Sunday. On that note, and Sam has never heard this come out of my mouth yet. Me and her started talking about our next Disney vacation, which is not this October coming up for the next upcoming Halloween. It is 2022. Nice.
You and your Hoovers want to come with us?
I could see that happening.
Okay. We just started talking. Literally,
I invited you on ours, but it was short notice.
It's short notice.
Yeah. So.
I'm talking about like 18 months from now.
Right. No, I have that new thing where I could actually get us both into the same resort for like $250 for a week. So.
Okay. Well, we talked about it between the Disney, the kids, and things like that. It's also, you're actually going right before the Disney 50th anniversary, which starts in October of this year, but they're running it for 18 months. So,
yeah, I would say more than likely we probably will, or at least come for a part of the time, and maybe we'll do something different a day or two.
Of all the vacations, I know you've went to Disney with other people before. We've never went to Disney with you guys.
It's true.
So we'll see how that goes, because I know you're not the biggest Disney fan.
I'm not the biggest Disney fan. So
see if I can pull something off.
Maybe you can make me enjoy it more somehow.
So let's see here.
What are we on? Number 3?
No.
Number
We passed.
4.
We're here.
We're on NFL preseason.
Man, that response right there is almost like the NFL preseason. It is already here.
It's like a blink, and I can't be more excited.
I'm happy. I'm so excited. I actually literally got everybody for fantasy football to give me their keepers except for one. And you guys got to see them all.
Who's that, Travis?
Mr. Justin Remp.
Justin Remp.
Justin Remp. I've called you a few times. I need your keepers.
Yeah, what the hell? I would have thought he'd be on it, you know?
He's busy, man. But
oh, and I'm not, and you're not? Like,
I get it.
That's some bullshit.
I get it. Nonetheless, Justin, get the keepers. You got a few days left before you end up with nothing.
Man, this training camp is starting, I think, end of this week.
Yep.
The mini camps beforehand. I mean, the Cowboys already have like 3 starters on PUP, which is not a good.
How many starters are on PUP? Come on, Michael Thomas just got eliminated for like the first 6 weeks of the season.
Unreal. It's crazy.
Cam Akers is out for the whole year.
Oh, Cam Akers, that blows my mind.
That's ridiculous.
Holy cow.
They're going with Darnell Henderson as their starter.
I will say I've never been more excited for a preseason.
Because there is a preseason this year.
There is a preseason. Number 1, there wasn't last year. Number 2, the Cowboys are on Hard Knocks.
Number 3, the Cowboys are playing the Steelers in the Hall of Fame
The Cowboys are playing the Steelers in the Hall of Fame game. We don't have Terrell Owens for Hard Knocks. I mean, this is
you do got CeeDee Lamb though. You do
this
got
is
CeeDee.
a win. You know, like this is a win. I'm super excited. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it sucks anytime like the star player on your team goes down with like a year-ending injury. You know, and your season pretty much goes out the window. It's happened far too many times over the last 15 years for the Cowboys.
Dak,
and now Romo a couple times, and yeah, I mean, it just sucks. But I'm super excited. What are you most excited about?
Oh man,
The Steelers moved their camp to Heinz Field. Did you see that?
they didn't.
What was the reason for that?
They didn't. They wanted to go to Latrobe, and the NFL blocked it.
Why?
They said the same reason as last year. They said COVID restrictions. They didn't want them on a school campus.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So it's in Heinz Field.
It's at Heinz Field again for the second year.
Okay.
Not sure how I feel about it. Camp up at Latrobe was always a thing here in Pittsburgh.
Well, the whole point of training camp is to get people away from their families.
Mm-hmm. To build a team.
Yeah, to team camaraderie and stuff.
Well, think about Remember the Titans. We both watched Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
They go away for that camp. I don't remember where they send them, but they're high school kids that they do this to.
Right.
And they built a team.
And it's the thing. It's the reason why we do guys' weekends and stuff. It like helps rebuild our camaraderie and like our.
It's
our
just building.
Yeah, I will say to me that going back to my birthday. Speaking of camaraderie, the thing I'm most amazed about is how many. I mean, I think I'm over 150 birthday wishes on Facebook, and then I have a couple like. You know, like Laura Jack put a big thing, out there, and then Dave Sharman put a big thing out there, who's also been a guest on our show. Like, just the fact that somebody would take time to write a paragraph thing about me for my birthday just blew me away. But yeah, I mean, camaraderie is it's a huge thing, and it's super important to anything in life, really. So I would hope, and I didn't research any bit into the Steelers training camp, I would hope that the Steelers have their players stashed up in a hotel right near Heinz Field or something.
They don't.
Really? So they let them go home every night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's all about the roommates and the, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that. Like, you can't go home.
It's a team building.
Yeah, I would have rather them just pitch tents right on Heinz Field and like, or in the locker room or whatever. Like that, dude. You can't tell me that wouldn't have been fun.
Oh, it would have been great.
And I know that look, a lot of the players have families and it sucks and whatever, but it doesn't matter. You are paid. Most of those players are getting paid millions of dollars to do what they do.
Right.
And part of what makes a great team is the camaraderie, and that's how you get it in training camp.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy. My team is in Oxnard right now, where they always are, and and they're actually getting a full off season with the coaching staff there, because that was a big thing last year. You know, is that they were doing it over Zoom and all that.
I'll be honest with you, I'm super excited about Ben's new diet.
Yeah, Pat McAfee was talking about how trim he is.
Did you see the picture?
I did not, but I did drool over the picture of Zeke Elliott.
Ben came in on first day of camp wearing a shirt that said different, and I'll be honest with you, his face in general, like the body, yeah, it looked trimmer, but it didn't look like exponentially trimmer. It just looked like over age you kind of lose your weight a little bit. Yeah. But his jawline, man, you can see it in his face that he is not as heavy as he used to be, which could be good.
Yeah.
Older age, better diet.
I mean, that's how Tom Brady's continued to do.
Yeah, but
did you see the video of Tom Brady throwing the ball back into the judge machine? They came out
and said that's fake already.
Is it?
Yeah, they said that was fake.
I was gonna say that is unreal. If he could
yeah, I know.
Like there was a video like 6 years ago or something of Tony Romo hitting like a corner end zone target from like 50 yards away, and I was like, that's cool and all, but I'm sure that took like 80 takes to get that one
Do you remember the original commercial from when Michael Vick got drafted and they showed him throwing a bomb from the 10-yard line into the other end zone?
No.
That was a Gatorade commercial.
That wasn't? Okay.
Yeah, that he could throw a 90-yard bomb.
So the Jugs machine was a Gatorade commercial?
No, I have no idea what the commercial was with that, but...
I wouldn't be shocked if Brady could one time, maybe give him like 10 tries, could throw it back into a Jugs machine.
Yes, but the fact that they showed him 3 times in a row, just stepping back 10 years...
And then the Jugs machine falls down at the end. Yeah.
And then it came out that it was fake.
God, why do we have to play the Bucks first game this year? That's just stupid.
You do know that's scary because they were good last year and they were just getting used to each other. Now they're an actual team.
By the way, can I pull the friend card? And no matter how tired I am, because I'm traveling back from Florida that day, no matter how tired I am, make me come out with you and like watch that game out in person.
So you want me to pull the friend card?
Yeah.
Hear that, guys? He's making me pull the friend card on that one.
I mean, we should go out. That's a Thursday night game, first game of the season. We should be watching it together.
Hey,
maybe even record a pregame of like how pumped we are to have the NFL season back. You can have me in rare regular season form. You know what I mean? Like we should. Maybe that'd be our first remote thing. We'll do.
What, are we gonna go down to Mike's bar again?
We can go to Mike's Beer Bar. They're probably tired of me by now.
Maybe.
Every time I'm
There's
drunk
some
with the
videos
Cowboys.
we have that haven't made their way out yet.
Yeah, who knows? But either way, we should do something for that.
I'll hold you to that then.
Yeah, hold me to, please. I don't care how.
When is that you come back?
It's literally the first game. It's like September 7th or 8th or something like that.
Okay.
It's the first game of the year, so Thursday. I fly in at like 2 o'clock, so I should have plenty of time to get home, get unpacked, get back out for a Cowboys pregame. I want you to hold me to that.
Okay.
I don't care what excuses I give you. You need to hold me to that. And you have video and audio proof of that right now.
The only issue I have is do I have to hold Cassie to that?
No, she won't care, dude. She seriously. I already told her if our flight gets delayed, I'm going to the game in Tampa Bay. I'll fucking scout tickets. If my flight gets delayed, then we'll get a hotel room and I will go to the game that night. Even if it's just me, I'll just go. Maybe I'll find 4 tickets. We'll take the whole family. I don't care. We'll go because it's in Tampa Bay. We'll be an hour away.
Thursday night football in Tampa.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Number 5, your vacation, my friend. How was your vacation? Honestly, maybe I don't know. You had training today. It's my birthday and some stuff was going on. But I asked you real quickly, how was your vacation? But I never really got, how was your vacation, Sean?
So my vacation was a lot of ups and downs. But you always try to make everything a positive, right? Try to be happy.
You have to look at the positive, yes.
So, we're at the beach. The first 2 days are massive thunderstorms. The 3rd day, my son has a fever, a high fever, and is not feeling well. The next day, he wakes up in the middle of the night, he's throwing up.
This is Grayson.
Okay. Yes. In those 2 days where he's not feeling well, the weather gets better. The 5th day, which is the first day that Grayson's kind of feeling better. I think we had a fun day. We kind of went to the pool, hung out by the pool, went out for dinner that night. Just a little bit of fun stuff. But you can see it gradually was getting better as we went because he's starting to feel better. By the last 2 nights, we were having great nights, but Ollie started to get a fever. Which nicey, I have the sniffles in.
Yes.
A little bit of a fever. I don't have a fever. I have sniffles and a head cold, basically. But nonetheless, it was relaxing. It was fun. We're at the beach. What do you want me to say?
What was the most fun thing about your vacation?
And you know me, I'm a kid person. My kids, all day long, is the last 2 nights. And I say that because the first of those 2 nights, we went to Broadway at the beach, which if you're ever at Myrtle Beach, please go there. It's an awesome entertaining area. That night, we went to the carnival. They have a carnival kind of setup where they have all sorts of rides. We got Grayson unlimited band. We got Ollie some tickets to go on some rides and just had a ball. The second night, we went to another place called Barefoot Landing, where my wife's birthday was on July 14th, right before we left. My family likes to do a family dinner. They were just getting there, so we did a family dinner at Barefoot Landing with them. And we went to Flying Fish, if you've ever heard of Flying. I know you're not a fish person, but...
Never heard of it. I've never been to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Which we're asking you guys to come and,
We're just not big beach people.
I get it. It's all about the beach, though. There are other things.
I'm sure at some point we might, but it's also a long drive.
It is definitely a long drive, but they do have an airport.
We'll figure it out at some point.
See, I have an answer for you.
The good news is that our friendship is not ending next year. And we have many, many, many more years. And I can see, like, when...
Why did you bring up our friendship ending? What is this all about?
What are you talking about?
Our friendship is not ending next year. What the hell?
That's what I'm saying. Like, our friendship is good for life, right?
Right.
So, at some point...
He's confusing me here. I wasn't here for a week, and now he's questioning our friendship?
Especially considering once our kids are, like, teenagers. I could totally see us being like, hey, well, let's go to Myrtle Beach, and, like, the kids can go do their thing, we'll do our thing. You know?
Eventually, I was going to talk to you about getting an investment property down there that we can Airbnb most of the year, and when we decide to go down.
Gotta let the market crash on that, my friend. Holy cow.
Oh, man. Hey,
well, I'm glad you had a good vacation. I'm sorry you had some adversity in your vacation, but you know what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Pretty much. We had a fun time.
Yeah, you had a fun time, so. And I'm sure Grayson was a trooper through.
He was. That was the impressive part to me. Actually, I will say he was such a trooper because even when he felt sick, he kept telling us, "I want to go to the pool." Even when he wasn't feeling good, I want to go to the pool. I want to go.
Well, I actually have a kids' corner already picked out, but I can tell an additional vacation kids' corner that's very similar to that.
Oh, okay.
That we can get into. So I'll throw out 2 this week.
Okay.
But that's really what we have next is kids' corner.
Yeah, that's it.
Do we want to pour it before we do the next? We can pour it. Don't drag it on the table.
I drag?
Don't. Oh, stop it, Sean. You're killing me. Okay. If you don't like the audio, just add Sabina Houses on social media. Make sure you blast him. He deserves it now with all this extra audio. We should have used the old mic. At least you guys wouldn't be abused right now.
It's my first week back. I have no idea about this new equipment. You guys know me and keyboards.
1884. I will say, I bet on ice it's a lot better. You're too much, Sean. You are way too much. I wonder about you sometimes. And I'm the one that supposedly is ADD. Yeah. 1884. I bet this is a lot better on ice. Definitely not something to shoot warm, probably.
No.
It's not very smooth.
No. I haven't had it warm. This is the first time I've had it warm.
Was it better on ice?
Yeah.
Like better sipping it on ice? Yeah. I can see that.
This was my sitting out on the porch watching the ocean, even when it was pouring raining. Sitting there with a little cup. Just sipping. Well,
listen, you better be ready to... On your birthday, I drank with you. You better be ready to have your wife DD you on Saturday when you come to my party because I have a lot of whiskey at my house to drink.
You have a lot of whiskey in your drawer over there.
Yeah, well, at home, and the reason I haven't taken any of that home is because at home I have a Jim Beam that I've opened and had one glass out of. Okay, I have a... what was the other one that I have? Oh, I have another... I'm pretty sure I have another Wiggle at home. It's not the one that I had on the show. It's a different one. And then I have now a tin cup that I got for my birthday from Kristen. And then I also have a... that we had it on the show. What's it called? The Hayden and Barrel.
Oh, Basil and Hayden.
Basil and Hayden. I have a bottle of that now. Which honestly, we did a shot out today.
Yeah.
And I for some reason, I remember it being not so great, but I actually liked it today when we shot it. So maybe on ice...
I'm just not feeling that great. I was not enjoying it today.
Well, maybe on ice it'll be better. So you better be ready to sip some whiskey on Saturday.
Yeah, as long as this head cold goes away, I'm fine.
Otherwise,
I'm still probably going to drink.
Yeah, you're still going to have to drink whether the head cold's there or not. So here we go. Oh, wait, no. We got to do Kids Corner first. I'm sorry. I'm like
skipping things.
Cart before the horse. So Kids Corner, do you want me to do my first one first and then we'll save my second one for after yours?
Sure.
Okay. We talked earlier about the fact that, and this is going to be kid/wife corner. Mm-hmm. My wife has realized that the way to get me to stop being cheap with things is just to nag me over and over and over again. And so my son Roman, he has this habit of when he gets tired, he'll just lay down and sleep wherever he is. Okay, yeah. So his bedtime's 8 o'clock, but he might not fall asleep till 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock, but he stays mostly in his room. If he does come out of his room, we'll find him passed out on the top of the staircase landing. We'll find him passed out on there's a landing in between the staircase going up to the attic and the staircase going to the attic. There's like a landing in the middle. We found him passed out in numerous locations, and it's rarely ever in his bed. And my wife is like, we need to get him a real bed. Like, he's got this taller bed. That's why he's not sleeping in his bed. And then we went on vacation in Columbus, which we talked about on the show. And he had a full-size twin bed that was his own. And where did I find him the next morning? On the floor. Right? He was sleeping on the floor. So I have no confidence that he's going to use this new bed. Therefore, I was not ready to invest a couple $100 into a new bed for my son. Especially considering he's still small. Maybe that's the vote. You remember when you put a snake into a cage, like they kind of like don't grow.
Yeah.
Is it a snake that doesn't grow? Like
it's a snake.
Like they'll stop
there's
growing.
other things.
Like some things just don't grow because of the size that they're contained
like
to.
whales. If you put whales in like shamu, that's why their fin flops over.
So maybe that's what it is that Roman stopped growing because we never got him a bigger bed. Okay. I have no idea what the deal is. He's a shrimpo, but my son is short. He's like probably the shortest 6-year-old and soon to be 7-year-old in his grade. Your 5-year-old son towers over him. Not towers, but has an inch or so on
He's
him.
Definitely bigger, noticeably.
And he's definitely thicker too.
Right.
He's just bigger than not that he's fat.
No, he's not fat. He's just bigger.
He's just thicker. He's got a bigger frame and everything.
He's also in the 98th percentile.
Right. So I really have a hard time believing. But the good news is, so I finally just broke down. I was like, look, I'm tired of hearing about it every single day. Just buy the stupid bed. Just buy the stupid bed, okay? Just do it. I don't just go on Amazon, buy a bed, whatever. So she did. She spent a couple $100, bought a bed, and then I get the wonderful trump card that goes in my back pocket now. That anytime I find him passed out anywhere other than his bed, I get to go. I told you so, honey. I told you so. That was a waste of money. He's just gonna sleep wherever the heck he falls asleep, right? That's my wonderful kids corner, and I have another one that revolves around vacation and getting sick on vacation. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, mine's gonna go into him being sick. So, like I've already said about vacation with Grayson getting sick on this vacation, I'll be honest with you. This is more of a sympathy. This isn't like funny. This isn't any of those things. This is more of that proud dad moment sort of thing. So Grayson was on this vacation, and you could see the whiteness in his face. Like, I would touch him, and it just was like, whoo, man, he saw it. And you could touch his arms, his legs, his whole body was like hot. And then, like I said, we gave him some medicine, and he started to feel better the next day, but then he threw up later after eating some stuff. He threw up. But nonetheless, throughout this whole process, he knows we're on vacation. Dad, can I go down to the pool? Can you take me to the pool? Dad, can we go swimming in the pool? This kid is just a trooper. He wants to go through things. He said Sam wanted to go walk on the beach. He was willing to go for a walk on the beach when sick with her. This kid was just being a trooper throughout. Because even after he started to feel better and wasn't throwing up and didn't have a fever, you could still see he was wiped out. Like we always get.
Right.
When you're sick like that, you get wiped out. You could tell throughout vacation, he was just wiped out. He was having a hard time getting back to just ready to go. But we would go to the pool. He would jump. He would be hilarious in the pool, just doing his typical Grayson stuff. I'll be honest with you, I got to the final point of the week, and I was so impressed by his attitude and putting up with being sick that, his love for Godzilla, I brought it up numerous times.
Yeah.
Godzilla is the coolest thing in the world to him. When you go there, when you're in Myrtle Beach, they have a store called Heroes and Villains. They had, in the back of the corner, they had custom Monopoly games. They had a Godzilla custom Monopoly game where you had all the monsters as the characters, and it's Monopoly with Godzilla. So I ended up getting that, surprising him. And I tell him, this is being good to your mom and everything. He says, told his mom he loved her. And then he turned around, and after he saw it, he got up. He's like, Dad, thank you. I love you, Dad. And came and gave me this big, ginormous hug.
It's never too early to teach capitalism.
Yeah, I love it. For a kid, for somebody his age, I love it. You teach that game?
Yeah, oh yeah. Hey, you gotta buy and sell properties. You gotta take loans from the bank. That teaches you about life, man.
That game right there is a tremendous learning game.
Payday's another one. Payday's a good one. And then Robert Kiyosaki has his own game.
Really, I didn't know that.
Called the Cash Flow.
I'm not surprised there.
But it's similar. Like it's in the realm of like a Payday where you gotta you have to you start with a career, and you got to like go through your life and try and get through obstacles and stuff.
But those are good games to learn.
Oh, Escape the Rat Race.
Okay.
Rat Race is what it's called.
But like Monopoly is such a classic game. But literally, that's such a when we were playing today, because that's what I did when I went home and finally spent some time with the kids. Obviously, Grayson, the first thing you want to do is I want to play that game. Can we play that game, Dad? Can you open it up, play it? And me and Sam are playing with them, and we're trying to teach them how you're buying properties, the money, how you pay the bank, your rent, things like that, and how you try to win the game, and all those things. And he was a trooper throughout that. He's still learning. He's still, not getting bored. He's really trying.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless.
Probably helps that there's Godzilla on the board.
Yes, it definitely does. Not the crazy stories like we go for typically, but just a heartwarming story of how my son just was a true trooper. So,
my vacation story was when we went on to a cruise. So we were worried about the cruises, so we went on a short little 4-day cruise. It was the first cruise we ever went on, and because my wife and really my kids. You're just being ridiculous. For those of you listening, he just cracked that right in front of the microphone. So I'm sorry for your ears if that picked it up. So we...
heel turn.
You're right. So, so we did a 4-day cruise because my wife was worried about the motion sickness. That went great, and then she wanted to go on another cruise. So we did a 7-day cruise. Mm. And there was a day and a half there of super choppy water, and I don't typically get motion sickness. If I do, it's in a car, and it's if I'm reading something while somebody's swerving all over the road, right? But even Olivia and I were like, "Whoa, this is pretty crazy." And so we went up on the top deck and ate breakfast and stuff, and had fresh air and everything. But Roman and Cassie were stuck in the room for over a day, just puking left and right.
You got those bands for them?
We had the bands, we had the motion sickness medicine, we had everything, and none of it worked, right? It was just so bad. Literally the boat's just back and forth the whole time, and it's I can't even explain what seasickness is like. Now Olivia and I were lucky enough that we could withstand it with our bands and with the medicine and stuff. We were maybe not feeling great, but we were able to still move around that day. But Roman, which I want to say he was 3 or 4 at the time, and he was so upset that he's just stuck in the room. And every time I go back to the room, he would just go, Daddy, I want to go to the kids club. I want to go to the kids club. As he's puking everywhere, right? And then I feel better. I want to go to the kids club. And I'm like, dude, you're just going to puke in 20 more minutes. Just chill, but he just wanted to go do something so badly. He's stuck in this room and he's puking left and right, and he just didn't comprehend what was going wrong with him. He didn't realize that this isn't oh, you're sick, and sometimes kids will just puke and they'll be good and they can just go through the rest of their day. That's not what's going on with you. You have motion sickness, and you are going to be sick no matter what we do, right? But just to see how he just wanted to go so badly, and I had to over and over break his heart that no, dude, you're not going anywhere because you're just going to puke, I did take him up on the top deck one time. He lasted about 5 minutes before he started spewing, and then it was over. But yeah, similar, he just was a trooper. He wanted to keep going no matter what. And that's one of the problems with cruise ships is that if you get into choppy water, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, there's not.
You're just screwed.
You're on a ship. You're until the middle of the night when it still doesn't change much, but when you stop moving.
Yeah, I mean you can sleep through it.
You're still moving.
You can sleep through it, but it's pretty rough. But I mean honestly, what vacation? You're always going to have some sort of adversity usually on vacation. Yeah. I was, this last one we were lucky enough to just have beautiful weather the whole time. But usually you have at least a rain day in there and something doesn't go right. It's part of just going on vacation. So unfortunately that one resulted in having 2 of our 4 people really, really sick for multiple days, or for a day and a half there. But So
that sucks.
Similar to Grayson, that he was just I still want to go. I want to go. And
it's impressive watching little kids like that, and they just adults. And I'm not trying to be critical or anything, but I see adults every day who just wimp out for basic stuff. All the time. But kids, something about them are just so resilient that they deal with it and just want to keep going.
Yeah.
Like Ollie still has a fever, yet Ollie is still running crazily around the house.
Oh yeah.
Like he has nothing wrong. You can hear him sniffle and cough and.
Well, they haven't learned excuses yet.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I mean, as we get older and become adults and everything, we learn excuses, and so that's a lesson to be learned. Just don't have excuses, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So.
All right, 1884, last shot of the night.
Wrap on episode 20.
Oh, and I lost my crown.
Oh man.
Oh, the third shot's the worst out of all of them. Thank you so much for the support, the 20 subs, whoever you are. We know who a few of you are. And just the overall, just anytime people view, and because we have no expectations of the show, right? That was our thing from day one. This is literally just us to get out of the house. But I think it has done some good with getting us wanting to make other content in our business.
It definitely has. Well, it instigated me, which you said instigated
which
you.
Instigated me. So I'm glad that we're doing it, and I think it's fun. And don't get me wrong, that if you guys don't realize, we have a sheet of paper in front of us where we'll spend like 15, 20 minutes just kind of coming up with things to talk about. Most of the time we probably don't need it, but we also want to create good content. We want to be talking about something that because you and I can just sit around BS about anything all day long.
We do
all the time. But we want to actually have some sort of topics that we could talk about and have it enjoyable for everybody. So thank you so much for everybody who liked and subscribed. Please keep that up, share it. Anything you can do for support, we'd appreciate it. And let's get to 50, right?
Follow us on YouTube.
Let's get to 50 subscribers so we can give the listeners and watchers something else.
Giveaway.
No, we talked about improving something else for the show. Camera, something. You were going to do a vote.
Drag.
Drag.
Hula.
You're dragging. I hula. You drag. I hula. Okay?
Peace out, guys.
Peaces. Deuces.